Let me tell you about a $139 Class D power amplifier with an Infineon power module. That after my listening evaluation, I think this is quote unquote check the box good enough in the way that DVD quality is good enough. This review is going to be quite a lot about Class D power module architecture, as the current tiers and price and quality of Class D power modules go. Now, this SMSL PA40 power amp was sent to me for review by USADOS.com, and I want to thank them for asking me to do this review. But they have not had any input on my review that I'm going to share with you. However, I will include below in the description a link to the AYoshidaAudio.com website for this product. And that link is not an affiliate link. I'm just providing that link to their website as a thank you to them for asking me to do this review and sending out this product to me for review. Hi and welcome. I'm Hunter Gray, and this is Hunter-Gray-LUV-Music. It's important to me that my music sounds beautiful when I play it, so that's why we are here talking about hi-fi gear, because your hi-fi gear and my hi-fi gear helps or hurts how the music that we love sounds. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoy this channel. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. That sure helps with the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So slow down for a few minutes and enjoy while we have a chat about Class D power amps. When they asked me to review this SMSL PA40 power amplifier, Class D, I have, I think, 4 SMSL products. I've got the SMSL Class A VMV A1 power amp that I just love and I listen to frequently. I have the SMSL VMV D1 SE DAC that I use a lot. I have the SMSL DO300 DAC. So I am very familiar with the SMSL name and brand. But why did I say yes to review this $130 Class D power amp? I think if you have been watching my channel a little bit, you know I lean heavily to Class A and I love tube amps. So an inexpensive budget Class D amp, why did I say yes to review this? Well, the answer is Tim Ferriss is why I said yes. I have listened to the Tim Ferriss podcast since 2016, maybe 2015, and I've read several of his books, and I'm a fan. And Tim Ferriss has a concept that he seems to frequently be pursuing the question, what is the minimum effective dose? So for instance, specifically in regards to exercise, he is regularly experimenting with and attempting to work backwards from, this is the fitness outcome that I want, then what is the minimum effective dose of exercise that I can do that will produce that fitness goal in my body? And I think that's a really interesting way to back into, here is the outcome I'm looking for. What is the minimum that is going to generate that for me? He's not interested in just hanging out for hours and hours and socializing at the gym. That's not the point for him. He wants to go in, put in the work, and get on with his life and produce the physical outcome that he's looking for. He's done this with learning foreign languages also. I think this is how he learned Japanese. So in my world of hi-fi gear and sound reproduction that I am looking for, I have a strong interest in this approach. What is the sound quality outcome from my hi-fi system that I want? Well, for me, I have a pretty clear understanding of what the performance level, what the sound signature, what I like, what I'm looking for. I know what the outcome is. And if you don't know what that is for you yet, that's important. You should venture to understand and discover what you're looking for the outcome of your hi-fi system. Then second, what is the least amount of money that I can invest in my hi-fi system in order to deliver the sound reproduction quality that I am looking for, that I want? So I think that's really interesting. So to me, the question is, can this $139 Class D power amp from SMSL play a successful role in my pursuit of finding the minimum effective dose in terms of dollars invested in a hi-fi system and still deliver the sound quality that I want? That is why I said yes to reviewing the SMSL PA40 amp. So let's talk about some ideas about building a hi-fi system from this perspective of how to get the very best sound reproduction for your money. So that raises the question, all in one box versus components, individual separates. From my perspective, the downside of all in one boxes is you're jumping in at a price cost, and in an all-in-one box, you can't, over time, upgrade the DAC, upgrade the stream, or upgrade, it's all together. So you're pushed in financially earlier to all of these pieces, parts that are in the all-in-one box. So to me, the advantage, or one of the advantages, and why I prefer individual components, when I get to choose the streamer, and I get to choose the DAC, and I get to choose the preamp if I want one, when I get to choose the power amplifier, that also allows me to decide where in the signal chain to invest my money and when to invest that money. Because it's a really important and I think valid question. Where do you get the most bang for your dollars spent in your signal chain? What if you want to have a system now to listen and enjoy, but you don't want to have your whole budget yet to buy the system that you really want? I really want this, but my budget is this. I don't think you have to wait and have nothing but a Bluetooth speaker until you have the whole budget to really reach your outcome goal for your sound signature, your sound profile that you really are looking for, your real outcome. So, in my opinion, it's most important in your signal chain to invest your dollars in good speakers. And they're in the price range between $1,000 and $1,600. That is the sweet spot. There are some really, really good speakers in that price range. And I've reviewed quite a few of them already and will do more because, my very well used and loved KEF LS50 Metas are in that range. So in my opinion, you can rationally and correctly save money now on your DAC and your amp with what I call check the box is as good enough components that you can upgrade those later as your budget grows. You bought speakers that are quality enough in that $1,000 to $1,600 price range that they will scale and reward you with improved sound reproduction and sound quality from higher quality amps and DACs as you invest and upgrade in the future on a better, more expensive, higher quality amp and DAC. to me, this scenario is the market niche and justification for an inexpensive, say $139 Class D power amp like the PA40 from SMSL. Now, when it comes to Class D, I think it's pretty clear there are sound quality tiers to the power architecture modules that make up the Class D market. And I think most hi-fi enthusiasts, we are at a point in our life that we have lived through the progression and the iteration of TV quality. So we have lived through CRT TV quality to DVD quality to 720p to 1080p to 4K and now to 8K in terms of what we experience and we see visually in TV quality. And I'm going to use that as a metaphor for tiering the current technology for power architecture for Class D. So I'm going to say that the Texas Instruments, the TI power modules on the market today, and some very affordable, inexpensive Class D power amps, I equate that to TV quality back in the mid 1990s, because it was really the late 1990s that DVD quality came out. This SMSL PA40 is powered by an Infineon MA5332 power module. I equate this to DVD quality resolution. And I point that out because when Blu-ray discs came out, I pushed back and I actually teased friends of mine that spent more on Blu-ray players and Blu-ray discs. Because I said for about a year or so, I think DVD is as good as I need. DVD quality, I love DVD quality. That's it. This is what I've always been looking for. As we had those old TVs, CRT TVs, I'm like, DVD is good enough. I don't need any better than DVD quality. I'm there. And I remember so clearly saying that. And I still say it's good enough. However, as soon as you see 720p or 1080p, right, compared to DVD quality, it's like, oh yeah, this is better. Oh yeah, this is better. But if you don't look at 720p or 1080p resolution, DVD quality, it's check the box good enough. So I think a lot of you have lived through that visual transition, and that is the best metaphor that I think for where we are at for Class D power module architecture. For me, then the power architecture jumps to ICE power modules that were developed in conjunction with B&O. And that goes to 1080p. And my reference Class D amp is the XTZ Edge, the A2300. That is ICE power architecture. It is 1080p if we're using the visual resolution metaphor. That's where $400, $500 you can spend. And I think it's fantastic. The next level up is the Hypex Encore. And I'm going to say that's like 4K. Now, I have to say, I have not yet heard the Purify audio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Egentacat. It's spelled EIGENTAKT. But I am very familiar with Pure Audio or Purify Audio. the woofers that they make that Buchart is using on their A10 active speakers and on their upcoming E50 passive top of the line speakers, the Purify audio woofers, I'm really looking forward to hearing that Buchart E50, because I think those woofers are really something. And so I have reached out and I'm hoping to get in for review. They're about $1,000 US, $1,100 for Class D amp with that Purify audio Identicat. Like I said, I can't pronounce. I don't know it's not an English word, but I anticipate that is going to be the 8K resolution. I've heard Hypex Encore. I think some people think Ice Power and Hypex Encore are about the same. I think Hypex Encore may be just above, the Ice Power. So I'm going to say it's like that 4K resolution. But this is I think the tier list in terms of quality and in price of the current Class D power module architecture. And I think it's valuable in doing a review of $139 Class D power amp. There is a place in the market for this. And it is check the box, like DVD resolution, I think is, when you look at DVD resolution, you don't see any flaws. You don't see any problem. You don't see that you're missing anything. But when you look at 1080p, yeah, it's better. You can just see that in comparison. So I think that's a really good metaphor. So let's go back to the concept of the Tim Ferriss minimum effective dose. If you think back to when you only had DVD quality resolution, when you watched movies, in my opinion, that was check the box for the minimum effective dose. And thus, so too is this SMSL PA40 power amp with the Infineon power chip. If the goal is to strategically build a hi-fi system where you invest the most, where you get the highest bang for your buck in sound quality, the speakers, in my opinion, with plans to upgrade this hi-fi system over time as your budget grows, then the power amp is a good place to save money to start your system. And the SMSL PA40 is a DVD quality, check the box placeholder until you are ready to invest some more money into your system. This, in my opinion, is the value prop of this SMSL PA40 Class D power amp. And it is a success at filling this niche in the hi-fi market. Now, a couple of quick listening notes. I could not hear any sound floor at all, even when I had the volume on this turned up to max and I had it plugged into my high efficiency Zoo Dirty Weekend 6 speakers. Zero sound floor, which on Class D, that's important, I think. Now, I think I could hear a difference from this amp when I had the volume turned all the way up, and then I modulated the gain with my Wim Home app, since I was streaming as my source through various Wim devices into the DAC and then into this amp. When I used the volume control on this amp to turn the SPL volume level up and down, it appeared to me to become slightly veiled and less transparent when I turned the gain right on the amp down to turn the SPL level down. So for me, if I use this amp for the long term, my approach would be to keep the volume on this amp all the way. On the amp, it shows 0, 0. When you turn the volume down, it starts going in negative dBs as you're turning it down. I would turn this all the way up and leave it at zeros and use a preamp to modulate the SPL level for my listening. You know, that was just my observation. This amp does what a Class D power amp, in my opinion, is supposed to do. It provides 85 watts into 8 ohms and 165 watts into 4 ohms. Technically measured with very low distortion, total harmonic distortion, the spec is 0.004%. 0.004%. Now, I personally don't really give a rip about total harmonic distortion specs. That's not something that influences in 2024 my listening. On this amp, I don't hear any distortion and no sound floor. And most importantly, I do not hear this amp having any impact on the sound tonality or color in the signal chain. It drives your passive speakers and no more. Job done. The sound signature you hear is coming from your speakers. In my opinion, in a $139 power amp, you should only be listening to rule out any flaws or discernible problems in the bass or treble, etc. If you're looking for any more than a lack of imperfections in the sound from a $139 amp, I think you've misjudged the expectation. So this is my review of the SMSL PA40 Class D power amp with the Infineon power module. I want to say thank you for watching. My goal is to help you reach and enjoy your hi-fi happy place. I do want to make you aware that some of the links down below in the description are affiliate links, and those generate a commission for this channel, but that does not cost you anything. Your cost stays the same. I also have a Patreon link in the description, and I'd love to have you join my Patreon community. So thank you so much, and most definitely please come back to this channel. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.